Hey guys, this is Jess and Taylor with Ensemble, and today we want to show you 3 ponytail options if you have short hair or fine hair and you're wanting a ponytail that doesn't look unrealistic on you. In the past, we only had 1 ponytail, now we have 4, so there's lots of options to give you a very natural look that's also very comfortable. So Taylor has 3. The first one I'm going to show you is our light ponytail. This one has 4 prongs so that we can wrap it really tight. And our tail also is only 12 inches long. So we keep that base very natural looking when it's on your hair. But this one, she would just be adding, oh goodness, like 5-6 inches of length. So we can cut these to any length that you want, but we wanted to show you it in a 16 so that you can see how it comes and the natural shape, because they are pre-layered. That's the huge benefit. So they already taper in a way that moves naturally and feels more comfortable. So how to put these in, I really want to show you up close. So you're going to put your hair in a ponytail. This is just a standard hair tie. It's very secure, but it's not a bulky hair tie. It's also not a flimsy hair tie. So make sure it's substantial enough that it can hold this. But she already pulled her hair up, and then these prongs are going to go in the hair tie at an angle like this, and it should be able to sit just horizontal before we start wrapping it. So this is really easy to do on yourself. You'll just feel it. It does take a little bit of practice. So like I said, it should be able to sit on your ponytail just like this. It's about sitting horizontal. So wrap with your left as tight as you can, because you really want the base of that ponytail to be as slim as possible, because that will look the most natural on your own hair. And then wrap on your right. You'll feel the Velcro attach and secure, and then you're going to have this tail. So then you wrap the tail tight, not too tight, but secure around, and it should go around maybe 3 times at most. And then I'm going to take the bobby pin that comes in your package and just secure the tail to the ponytail. So this is the light thickness. And we said light because natural, if you have a natural halo, I didn't want you to think it was going to be that kind of density, because it's even lighter. So those of you that have really fine hair and you just want something to give you a ponytail but don't want it to feel heavy, look heavy, we needed it to be the right density so that it felt that way. So this is how it comes pre-layered. This is before we do any more layering to it. So keep this in mind when you're deciding, actually, could you taper it even more for me? And then also here's that 16-inch length. So in the back, a 16, you see where her ponytail is. It's about middle to just above the middle, and it comes about mid-back. So really common for us to cut these to a 14 if you have short hair, and that would just feel like too much length. We can even cut these to a 12. So that custom process we can still do with these ponytail pieces. So when you're deciding how much length that you want to add, remember that that measurement comes from the base of the ponytail, not from a halo length or from the top of your head. So if it were to come from right up against your scalp and out, that's how we're measuring. And also remember where you're going to place your ponytail. So hers, I would say, is right in the middle, not super high. So her ponytail is going to fall lower. Whereas my 16-inch ponytail, I wear a little bit higher, and it just barely comes past my shoulders. So keep that in mind when you're trying to decide how much length do I want to add. If you're cautious, then go a little longer than you're thinking, because we can always cut it shorter after. So here's the shape, perfect that I'm wearing a white shirt so you can really see it, of how this is structured, because I'm going to show you the next thickness up. This is the natural. So once it's in her hair, I'm not sure that you're going to see a substantial difference. So here's a side by side. You see where the weight is a lot more full right here. It's not as full as our full option, but it's thicker than this one. So you're getting 20% more hair with the natural than the light. But structure wise, you can see where this one really starts to taper at the ends, and this one still has a bit more weight in there. So she can totally wear both. Both are very, very comfortable. It's just a preference. But if you do have very fine hair, I am going to push you to the light one. Another thing to keep in mind with the light, and I wanted to show you on myself, you can wear it in a half up. So for me, the light wouldn't make a big difference for me in my full ponytail, but for a half up style, it's perfect. So you can also wear this in a half up. If you're pairing it with a halo, then at least you'd have the same density if you were to pull your hair up. A lot of us too, if we have a lot of breakage through our crown, then having something for a half up is really nice. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to I'm gonna put the natural in so that you can see the thickness difference. Here it is from the front. I'll show you that too, she's so cute. So it does come over her shoulder. I love it. I'm biased, but I love it. Okay, I'm gonna show you the next thickness up. Okay, now we have the natural thickness in her hair. So you can already see more fullness in the ends here from the one that she just had on. And then it turns sideways. Still not an overwhelming amount of hair, totally matches with her natural density, but she just gets a little bit more volume out of this one. It has 20% more hair than the light. still very, very comfortable, still the same prong style, the same length of a tail, and we can cut this one shorter. Again, I'm just stressing the customizing that is an option, but we just wanna make sure we're starting with the right density. So if you're deciding between the two, I'll always give you my opinion on where to start, but eventually you can add more than one, and that's kind of the point. Okay, now I'm gonna show you our long ponytail on her because it's dreamy and you could totally wear one. Okay, she has the dreamy long one on, and this one's actually been cut to an 18 because 20 might just be a little too long for you. So I wanted to show you an 18-inch length. Again, just measure from the base of where your ponytail would start and measure how long you want it to be. So I wear this one in a 20-inch, but she likes it cut to an 18. Let's show from the side. Gorgeous. But what's so important is look at that base of that ponytail. What's such a dead giveaway when something is not real is when this is so bulky. So we really wanted to make sure that the base of the ponytail could be bent and was really malleable, and part of that had to do with how many hairs were on it and how many were long, short, all of that, so that it wasn't bulky up here, so we could get it tight, because that matters when you have fine hair. But coming right out of it, a good amount. It's nice and perky. We haven't done much to really fuss with this. We could add more layering, we could tease it. The ponytails are more flexible because you can add more product to them. So with our halo extensions, we're like, don't put any sprays on them, try to keep them soft. That's the whole point, because it's just different. But this, you can add dry texture spray. You can add some dry shampoo to it. And if you wanted a lot more volume out of it, I like my ponytail when it's a little bit dirty personally. I think it just behaves a little bit more normally. But because it's pre-layered, it's not gonna stick together and just look like a fake horsetail. That's the best way I can describe it. So this one already has layers, but we can taper it even more. If you're like, I like that length, I feel like I want the ends a little bit thinner than that, we customize it. So, and look at this coloring job. So she has a good amount of highlights. She's definitely more of a balayage. Her highlights don't go straight to her roots. So we balayaged this ponytail, believe it or not. It started out as a lot lighter and we added all this dimension in. And then we did the tail solid. So if you have a lot of dark heading into your ponytail, see, she still has some highlights, but she's mostly dark, then I'd recommend having us do this tail part solid. If you have a lot of highlights heading into it, then we would just low light this tail, and we'd still recommend rooting the ponytail because it just looks real. Because the worst is when you feel like you need to grab a scrunchie or a bow to hide this transition. But if it's customized right, it transitions very naturally and you don't have to feel like you need to do anything really to hide it. So gorgeous length. We have 3 options. This is just what I recommend if you have something similar to her length of hair and or really fine density, is to do the light, the natural, and then along maybe just cut a little bit shorter. But there's a lot of options. So if you want to build a collection, that's why we have a few options now. I personally wear 3, but they're a little bit different than the ones I recommended for her. So I wanted to show you on a model that was similar to you. If you haven't heard of us before, we're Ensemble Hair. We do all of this online, virtually. So you can go to ensemblehair.com, fill out our form, and I can reach out to you directly for a virtual consultation, or you can text Ponytail to this number and get started that way.